Another day, another story. Is that so? A Zen story. Is that so? Is a powerful and thought-provoking Zen story that teaches us about the importance of acceptance and non-judgment. It's a story that can be interpreted in many different ways and has a deep and lasting impact on those who hear it. The story begins with a monk who has just finished a meditation retreat in the mountains and is on his way back to his temple. On his way, he encounters a villager who asks him what he has learned during his retreat. The monk responds that he has learned to let go of his attachment to things and people. The villager then tells the monk that his son has also just returned from a retreat and claims to have learned the same thing. The villager is skeptical and asks the monk if he really thinks it's possible to let go of attachment. The monk responds, "Is that so?" and continues on his way. This response is often seen as a demonstration of the Zen concept of mu, which means to question or negate. The response is not an affirmation or a denial, but rather a way of inviting the other person to question their own assumptions and beliefs. Later on, the monk arrives at his temple and shares his encounter with his fellow monks. They too are skeptical and ask the monk if he really thinks it's possible to let go of attachment. Again, the monk responds, "Is that so?" and goes about his day. The next day, the monk is walking through the village when he hears crying coming from a nearby house. He goes inside to investigate and finds the villager who had spoken to him earlier mourning the loss of his son, who had just passed away. The monk sits with the villager and offers him comfort. The villager eventually stops crying and looks at the monk, asking him if he really thinks it's possible to let go of attachment. Once again, the monk responds, "Is that so?" This response can be seen as an acknowledgement of the villager's grief and a reminder that there is no easy answer to the question of how to let go of attachment. It is a process that takes time and requires a willingness to accept and let go of things as they come and go. The story shows us that it's easy to become attached to things and people, but ultimately everything is impermanent and subject to change. The monk's response of "Is that so?" is a reminder that we should not judge or try to control our experiences, but rather accept them as they are. In essence, the story teaches us that non-attachment does not mean detachment or indifference, but rather a willingness to accept and let go of things as they come and go. It is a powerful reminder that we can find peace and contentment by letting go of our attachment to things and people, and accepting the present moment just as it is. The story has many interpretations and can be applied to many different situations in life. It can help us to deal with loss and grief, to overcome feelings of attachment and possessiveness, and to find a sense of peace and contentment in the present moment. The story is also a reminder of the importance of mindfulness and self-awareness. By practicing mindfulness and paying attention to our thoughts and feelings, we can become more aware of our attachment to things and people, and begin to let go of those attachments in a healthy and constructive way. In conclusion, Is That So? Is a beautiful and powerful Zen story that teaches us about the importance of acceptance and non-judgment. It's a story that can be interpreted in many different ways and has the power to transform our lives and our relationships with others. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Storytime.